Here in the book of John, chapter 21, I think we all are familiar with what took place here. When the disciples were out on the sea fishing after Jesus had been crucified and buried, and they were out here, and the same thing that happened when Jesus called Peter and some of the disciples. They were out on the sea fishing, and Jesus, they had not caught any fish, and Jesus said, "Cast your net on the other side." And when they cast the net on the other side, this is in verse 6, "Cast the net on the right side of the ship, and you shall find." And when they cast, therefore, now they were not able to draw it for the multitude of fishes. Therefore, that disciple whom Jesus loved said unto Peter, "It is the Lord." They recognized Jesus because when Jesus had met them originally, the same situation took place. They had been fishing, caught nothing. Jesus came and said, "Cast the net on the other side," and then they couldn't pull in the net because of the load of fishes. And so this happened, and they recognized Jesus. They were eager to go to where he was. Peter wrapped his fisher's coat about him. It says he was naked in verse 7, and he cast himself into the sea. He swam to shore. He couldn't even wait to paddle the boat back to shore. He swam to shore because he wanted to get to Jesus so quickly. Peter was eager. Peter loved Jesus. Whatever else, he denied him, but Peter loved Jesus. And when he recognized this was Jesus, he came to shore. So Jesus invited them to come and dine. He had cooked some fish and he gave them to eat. Now, this is the part that I want us to focus our attention on. Verse 15. "So when they had dined, Jesus said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these?" These what? These fishes, bread, food, the daily lifestyle. Do you love me more than this that you're seeing before you, this that you're engaged in, this you're involved in? He said unto him, "Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee." Then Jesus said unto him, "Feed my lambs. If you love me more than these, feed my lambs." Verse 16, he said to him again the second time, "Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me?" He said unto him, "Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee." Jesus again said unto him, "Feed my sheep." First he said, "My lambs," now he says, "My sheep." Then he said unto him the third time, "Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me?" Peter was grieved because he said unto him the third time, "Lovest thou me?" Why is he asking me this repeatedly? Why does he keep on? I told him that I love him. And why is he asking me this? But you can imagine that something was also playing in Peter's mind. He's asking me this because I denied him. He's asking me this. He wants me to say it. He wants me to prove myself. And so Peter said, "Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you." Now, this, even in that statement, Peter was affirming his assurance of who Jesus was. You know everything. Therefore, I don't even have to tell you that I love you. You know that I love you. Now, this was speaking to something inside. So Peter knew that he wasn't hiding anything, and he knew that Jesus knew. But Jesus said unto him again, "Feed my sheep." Now, it's one thing to love Jesus, but it's another thing to love Jesus and feed his sheep. Now, many Christians will profess to love Jesus, and maybe they love Jesus, maybe they love the lifestyle, maybe they love being Christians, maybe they believe in Jesus, but they're not feeding the sheep. And Jesus is here saying that if you love him, you have a responsibility to feed the sheep. It's not good enough for us as Christians to sit down fattening ourselves on the word of God every day. It's not good enough to be just feasting it in and enjoying it and loving it. We have a responsibility to feed the sheep. When Jesus said, other sheep I have which are not of this fold, he's talking about the world out there. He's talking about people out there who belong to him by right. But they need to be fed. They need food. They need meat. And those who are of this fold are sitting down and feasting on the meat and not sharing it with those outside. Brethren, it behoves us who are called to a higher calling to remember the commission, feed my sheep.